to be brief in my remarks. Thank you, Jeffrey Hank.
Not a problem.
Born in Lansing, worked part-time in Lansing, lived in this area for the past 34 years in the Holter, East Lansing. I was the former founder of the Coalition for Safer Lansing. We ran the only marijuana legalization campaign ever to happen in Lansing. We won with 65% of the vote back in 2013. And that was for adult use of up to 1 ounce of marijuana, transfer, possession, use on private property. So I just want to remind the council, as you're looking at this issue again, that there is a city charter amendment which actually exempts a certain amount of conduct from regulation. So I also happen to be the executive director of MI Legalize, also known as the Michigan Comprehensive Cannabis Law Reform Committee. We are the largest and most well-funded cannabis law reform group in the state of Michigan. We plan to place a legalization ballot on the November 2016 election that would provide a regulated structure and local control for cities like Lansing to regulate dispensaries, because we are in a quirky gray area that's been giving people headaches for 5 years. I was here years ago when you did the first ordinance, and we're here today still working on the same issues, right? Everybody knows that. So what I just want to remind the committee here of today is that this is a growing industry. There are real public safety issues that need to be addressed. Smart regulation could be in place. But some of the drafts that I've seen here about 12 businesses or 16 businesses, that's not going to be sufficient. You want to keep bad actors out. You want to satisfy the neighborhood safety concerns. Treat it like a normal business. Allow it in business districts. Have smart regulations to prevent diversion to children and prevent some of the public safety issues we're concerned about. We are forecasting with our initiative, if we're successful, raising hundreds of millions of dollars in new tax revenue for the state of Michigan, creating approximately 25,000 jobs, and saving the state of Michigan several $100 million as well. 40% of that revenue is going to go to the school aid fund. 40% of that revenue would go to the Department of Transportation, hopefully to fix our roads here in Lansing and elsewhere. And 20%, which is what I'm here to talk about, would go back to local governments. This is tax revenue from the state Department of Treasury, kicked back to local governments for licensing marijuana establishments in the community. And under our proposed law, establishments could include something such as a dispensary, but it could also include a place where somebody commercially cultivates marijuana or processes marijuana products, which is one of the real public safety issues that doesn't get talked about enough. These are items fit for human consumption. They probably ought to be tested and regulated and make sure that they're safe. That's the kind of regulation we need. What we don't need is a reefer madness kind of idea where we're going to limit things to 10 businesses or whatever it might be. There's a huge opportunity here, and we want to see you guys get it right. I hope you don't rush to do this. I want to be frank with you that if the council doesn't come up with something good to deal with this and the state continues to daddle and we don't get MI legalized on the ballot, we are looking at doing a local initiative again, but one that would certainly allow more than just a few people access to this new industry. That 25,000 jobs, part of that in Lansing is needed. That doesn't take away from the public safety issues that we have and the legitimate concerns the neighborhood groups have, but all those can be addressed. So we'd ask that you think the big picture here. Don't rush. And, if we're successful in November, it's going to be in the city's hand to create new legislation as it is. And we want to make sure that something isn't done now which precludes the people of Lansing from having the opportunity to take part in this future industry. So I think you can do that. Certainly the ordinance that was crafted years ago isn't perfect. It could probably be improved. I would recommend you put some things in there like the city of Detroit did with variances. Do you need 1,000 feet between dispensaries? I mean, really, maybe some people feel that way. What's the justification? So I would encourage you to think about all those things, and I'll be back here certainly to talk about it as you do.